So there's a YouTuber on here that I had to sum up on a lot of things. Kitagakari Jones did a video response to this dude. I already did my response to many of his videos of him using the word incel and everything else like that. In most of his videos, he used the word incel about at least 20 times each video that he's talking about incels. So altogether, you can do the math. He never stopped using the word incel until probably in his titles. He stopped using the word incel trying to check. I got to do my research and everything. And while I'm recording, yes. So let's see. About a month ago, he was doing incel stuff nearly back to back, talking about incels, going around talking about beta males, and then he didn't stop using the word beta male until he's still using the word beta male. So his new thing is now he is now showing himself to be just like Obsidian, a undercover guy who's all about money, who don't want to see anybody else happy, who never traveled, who don't know multiple languages, and he doesn't practice what he preach, just like Obsidian. And no wonder Obsidian and him kind of promote each other. And this is why he the same person, because now he's coming at black men who travel. So one of his titles was Black Men, the Passport Pipe Dream Regarding Relationship with Foreign Women. Mind you, this is a guy who didn't go to experts who actually been with foreign women. He didn't do any interviews with people who had any recall of being with foreign women. He didn't talk to people who been with foreign women and it worked out, who happily married to foreign women, overseas women, and the ones who didn't, who felt that being with overseas women and foreign women, right? So he's just going to the other side without actually talking to the good side. So he's just doing that. He's doing the same argument as everybody else. Because a lot of guys say, well, I've been with foreign women. No, you've been with foreign women here. Because if you've been with foreign women over in other countries, you will be speaking multiple languages. Because that's what happens when you with a foreign person. You start learning multiple languages. These guys, they don't want you to go nowhere because they're trying to sell you books and they want to overlord you. This is why they got YouTube channels. And this is why this dude right here has a Patreon and selling you his book. He doesn't care about your betterment. He only cares about making money off of you because that's what he's here for. He wants you to stay here. He wants you to be lonely. He wants you to be the person that goes to him, just like these other dating coaches that I've been getting at. See, I had a certain like thing that I'm doing, as people see in my videos, where I came at people who when I first started coming back on YouTube or started making videos, it was the Pookie and Ray Ray stuff. Then it was the Obsidian stuff that was happening with Obsidian because he was the underdog. Then I moved in with the women that was infiltrating the manosphere. Then I started going at the gang guys. And now I'm starting to come at the guys who are out here playing games with black men and taking advantage and exploiting black men. So it's a continuation of the so-called game guys and the people who work with them. As I said before, my analogies on this guy, he just want to seem like he's better than the guys who look just like him, but he want to throw them under the bus to make himself look better. Now, this is a picture of a guy who went overseas and who is still with the female he with. The whole family vets the man. This is something that he's not going to talk about. When you go to overseas, when a female don't introduce you to her family right away, it means that she's doing some kind of deal to use you. That's dating one-on-one overseas. Most guys who take a serious account of meeting the whole family, because guess what? If he meets the whole family, right, and she does something wrong, they're gonna call her out or maybe disown her for doing what she did to this man. Because if this man is good, he makes the whole family look good. But that's something that this guy's not gonna talk about. That you go through a vetting process in other countries, because they have traditions. They have traditions over there. Multiple countries have traditional values that you're gonna have to meet the father and the mom and the cousins and the sister and the brothers and the cousins, all of them. You're gonna have to meet most of them all at the same time. It's an old traditional thing that it still goes on to this day, but they're not gonna tell you that. So I'm gonna show you right away that my experiences that I had to deal with women over here, or my persona that I put online, that I used it as a trap. Now I'm going to show you some screenshots that I had when I was on Facebook, that women who so-called good try to use me and said some very hateful stuff in my inbox. Now let me show you. One right here. When I was making red pill content on Facebook until they sick the law on me, lied on me, and I'm not banned from Facebook, but I'm not going back on Facebook because I know as soon as I log in or key in or make a account, they're on me again. So I'm not going on there anymore. So we had in a conversation, this is the so-called female who gave up on men, but for some reason she has a baby dad. So she went the other way and started dating women, and she hated my viewpoints. So this is what she said in my inbox. You said the same things consistently. Men with no jobs and baby moms who look good, dress nice, get all the women, and the men with the small swinks who work but have a few issues is ugly, can't get no one. Laugh out. This is what you said. Pick a struggle. Mind you, this is a single mom who lives in the hood but was complaining about living in the hood, raising her kids in the hood. She has 2 kids in a relationship with another woman, complaining about the woman. And then when I said the same thing to her, my so-called associate turned on me and said some spiteful things to me. Now, this is an older broad. My experience with an older broad who wanted me to fly her out. She wanted me to fly her out because she thought she was doing me a favor by me paying her way so she can have a relationship with me. I exposed her, and everybody else pretty much laughed at her. So she said, why would I pay my own way to come see you? I'm doing you a favor. Mind you, this is an older broad. I don't know if she's still on Facebook. You can look her up. That's her name. Who said I should fly her out. Mind you, they was calling me broke on Facebook. And then when I started showing money, then I had all these old bras, single moms, and all these other types of women coming on my page acting like they liked me. But there's guys on here giving advice saying, if you get money, if you got money, the women will follow. Yeah, I know that. Because I did an experiment on all social medias with the money that I had and posted it. And guess what? Nothing but used up, nasty behind women who thought they can take advantage of me, including this old broad. You're going to be lonely, MFer, because you can't function properly in society. So mind you, she's talking about my persona that I have online. But she said, if I couldn't function proper in society, see how hypocritical they are and how dumb they are? If I couldn't function in society, why would you ask me to fly you out? And why would you ask me if I didn't have no money and function? So when I exposed her, this is what the aftermath was. I'm not going to show all of it. Pretty much she said, looks like you was definitely about to pay for that poo-tang. Yeah, laugh out loud. Something happened though. Change of heart costs too much is my thinking. Oh God. Oh my God. She was fine to walk through it and all. She wasn't all that nice to begin with though. True. Exactly. I exposed every single screenshot me and her had. She was never really nice to me in the first place. Then act like that shit I was gonna do. She was acting like she was some type of prize, even though she was old, used up, and had 2 kids, and thought that she was doing me a favor if I flew her out. Then insulted me when I said I wasn't gonna do it. When I exposed her, everybody chewed her up. Now, I'm going to show you a female who used to be big and now she's skinny and she has an arrogant mindset. Mind you, this is a chick who says she's a counselor, and every single body she counsel end up taking their own life. Oh, I'll show you another thing. You said you're and you're ugly. You should have just paid. You should have paid for it. This is the aftermath. I had a lot of people on my side who was making fun of her, but then I had a lot of people who were saying I should have paid for it. So mind you, this guy who says black men in a pipe dream regarding foreign relationship with foreign women, they don't like for you to pay for it. They want you to sit back and do what he said. Oh, take a woman on a coffee date. Even though if I don't drink coffee, take her on a coffee date to see if she's compatible with me. Don't we have other social media things? That's still taking time out of my day for her. And I'm going to show you what this dude is not going to tell you about the women here and the women overseas. As I was saying regarding the female who used to be big and now she's skinny and thinking she all that. The chick is messed up. And me and her had a run-in where she said that I was she lied on me and said that I was a child, whatever. You know, the end. She teamed up with a white girl and said that I was that. When I was having my legal situation from Facebook, they fixed the situation and told them to take all that post down and told her straight up where, yeah, he's not like that because we've been watching him for a while, blah, blah, blah. And he's not that. They had to take it down. Mind you, she's supposed to be a counselor who's so-called psychologist who help people. And every single time I went on her page, she had mental breakdowns of saying how broke she was because she's helping everybody. Then she had a video of herself screaming and yelling at everybody in the middle of the street, but she's supposed to be helping people. And next to that, she had multiple people on all her pages talking about it's messed up that the guy took his life, talking about her own so-called patients and counselors and telling their business. Then, from her being big so much, her being big overall for so long, once she got skinny, she came with a whole bunch of health problems. She's in and out the hospital, and that's the reason why she broke. But they don't tell you that when these females say they're gonna get skinny and stuff. They don't tell you the health risk after they lose all that weight, and the skinny and the loose skin, and maybe the organ failure that they receive and stuff, dialysis and all types of stuff, and them being big so long. It was all up and down her page. You don't supposed to go to the gym when you're super fat. I mean, when you're super big. You're supposed to go to the gym when you got a gut. Not when your whole body gets big, even your face and all your arms and your legs. If your gut is just the only thing is big on you, you could always fix that. But if your arms and legs and you moving all slow and everything is big on you, then you waited too long. So, the mentality of some of these people out here who try to tell you and shame you into staying with the black community, but they don't tell you the other side of the materialistic culture that we have, where they're out here buying Jordans and they look at your sneakers first, and they don't talk about, they don't have one conversation with you, but they say you're socially awkward. But they don't even want to get to know you like that. They just look at your sneakers and your clothes and say, "Oh, he's dirty. He's a bum. I don't want to talk to him." But they won't they won't invest any kind of thing with their kids. They won't invest nothing in their kids, right? They won't spend as much money they do on hair, makeup, cars, handbags on their kids' education at all. Same thing with the guys. But they want to have some nerve to tell you where you can go at. They want to think that they're the authority over women because they had it easy and you got it hard and you got to leave the country to go get somebody. But they want to sit back and tell you what you want to do, what you should do. Men, they don't tell you the happy stories that happen, that men who date other races or date in other cultures and they still married to the woman. I know plenty of guys who married to women from overseas and they couldn't get no woman here, and they literally, it took them 3 women to get to the woman that they actually wanted. 3. Sometimes they got lucky and had to go through, they met the one girl that they was with and they married her and they're still together. I know guys right now who still married to the girl that they married when they went overseas. These are guys who couldn't get no woman over here. They left and got somebody. Kind of like myself. So you're putting this narrative out here about men traveling, but you never travel and don't ever have a passport. You can't even speak any languages. You don't know culture. You insult other people's culture. You insult other people's work. But you make comic books. But your comic books can't even beat one value. Your comic books can't even beat one issue of a Japanese manga. but you call them beta males. They outsell anything you produce. If you put your so-called black comic books together next to Japanese comic books, they'll outsell it. Not because black men don't support nobody. It's because you don't write good comic books. But instead you want to talk about another culture. And you want to talk about men going traveling and people going in on this dude. Because now he sounds just like other YouTubers. So when you have a group of men, and when you have somebody who's selling the book about a man crisis, then he start to sound like the PUAs that the guys he talking about. He never called any of these PUAs out. He's always in their chats. He's always getting a shout out by them. And they always slide him. There's guys on here who says he's incelish. He's kind of incelish. And he still seemed to group up with him. He even got mods as females as mods on his channel. But he's supposed to be saying that he don't like the females. He don't trust them or nothing. When he was on Obsidian channel. See, I'm telling you, these dudes playing both sides of the fence. And you are the person they extort. They don't want to tell you the good. They only want to tell you the bad and the batter in order to put their point across. You got to put everything on there. If I'm going to talk about something, I'm going to say the good and the bad. Now, I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to get to my other interactions with certain people. My experiments with people, with my persona. So there was this girl, this big girl who kept coming at me, telling me certain things. And I'm going to show you the results of it because I did my little research and stuff. So she says, I told you to get offline. This is the talking points of people who tell guys to go outside and do all this and do that, even if everybody else is on their phone. Because you can't go outside and not see women on their phone. So you're telling guys to be a tap dancing monkey to try to outbeat them being online. Mind you, she's online. So she says, go to places and do things and find a chick there. I told this chick many times I did that. I've been through the ringer. And I even showed pictures of the females that I was with before I started, got a foreign chick. So then she says, find a gamer girl. I said, sorry, gamer girls are fake. Like, what? They're not gamers. You make it harder than it is. Now, it's this chick that I had a whole storyline with. And it was one of my first videos on here when I told you about this chick who now has 3 kids. And I don't know if she's getting married because she said something about her getting married, but now you don't see the dude in any of the pictures. So now she has 3 kids with no guy around. Funny as that. So, mind you, this chick don't look that well. Don't look good. She's a bronze at best. And she pretty much disrespected me the whole type of way when I asked her a simple question to help me out. And this is the good. These are the ones that they say are the good ones. Oh yeah, get with a girl who got personality that don't look good, because looks fade and blah 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 blah. But they go after the ones with the looks because they got so-called game and they've been in the field and all that. They don't take their own advice. They don't practice what they preach, right? We got another one. So this chick right here, and this is what I tell you about the females here. They're never truly happy and they're looking for an opportunity. So me and her got into it because she said stuff about Drake. And then she goes on my pictures and said, see, you a weirdo. That's creepy. Worry about your non-existent ass relationship and not mine's. And then she said, no, I wouldn't. He think Cuban doll is bad as fuck, and I don't care. We grown as F, and we never gonna meet them. You don't even know me talking about my type. I don't want Drake. He just fine. Mind you, she's not calling her man fine. So if her boyfriend called another chick fine in front of her or typed it in front of her, she'd get mad. And I'm going to show you what her boyfriend looks like. And I'm going to show you what she looks like. So she calls me a weirdo and everything else. You must be lonely as F. Where you stay? I'm about to argue with no man. I got a man, remember? But mind you, she's online calling a celebrity fine. And saying that she was going to cheat with him. She was going to cheat on her man with Drake. And then she deleted the comment. Then, this is her. I told you, they got entitlement and they're arrogant and they think that they are owed something, but no one calls them out. What about this dude who says black men in the passport pipe dream regarding relationship with with foreign women? He doesn't call none of them out, but he always make videos about beta males and all. This is what we're dealing with. This is the dating pool that these guys are not telling you about. Oh man, go to the gym. Okay, if I get out the gym, where are the women at that I want? Where they at? If I gave you a list of stuff and I said, I'm gonna point it out and say, I want all this right here. Where the women at? Oh, they out here. No. I want you to tell me a direct city of where they at. Since you're going to tell me to go self-improve and all this other stuff, you're going to tell me where they at. And if they're not there, I want a whole refund for the money that I gave you for your book. I want my refund for the money, all the consultations. I want all of it back. This is her man. This is her man. So no wonder that he walking around thinking that he got a good chick because she's big and friendly and everything else. And that's the perception that they put out there. Oh, the big women, the big women got the biggest hearts because they have to be nice because they're big. And no, they not. Because I just saw another YouTuber say that she don't like big women. I mean, she don't like big men. She like pretty boys. But you're big. And mind you, right now, none of these big women are on any of these sites trying to date other big men. Why don't we talk about this? That they telling men to stay in their own lane and don't go overseas because all women are all the same, right? So if all women are all the same, then why do you have moderators on your channel? Why are you conversating with them if all of them are the same? Because if you say that all of them like thought culture and all this other stuff, why are you collaborating with them, talking to them, having them as your mods? Now, so every time he gets the chance to, he brings up his books. And this is why I said this guy's a phony. And whoever like him, they're in the same boat as him. Because every single time he's talking about his book, every single time he bringing up his book, his comic book and all this other stuff. And now he's trying to distress people from going overseas. The funny thing is that a lot of people who do travel overseas actually know the language. If you go to another country and you just stay in the tourist areas, of course you're going to run into the same type of women. But if you venture out into places where if you know people there and they tell you to go to certain places and certain areas where you know the language and the culture, you're going to meet a good woman who's embedded in that culture. But if you stay in the tourist areas, you're going to get a tourist type of female who want to be Americanized. There's plenty of Asian chicks that I can actually show you who are Americanized and they're not worth talking to at all. I tell you right away, they look good, but stay far away from them. If they like hip hop and they listen to any of the rap, and I'm gonna get to that too. So I want the same guys who tell guys that all women are not the same, but then go on another show and go to this thing and say date on your level. So if a man doesn't watch any kind of hip hop, he doesn't watch any mainstream, he doesn't want that music listening around him, he doesn't want that kind of music or them shows, he don't want a woman who listens to the shows and the music everybody else listens to and the same talking points, where they at? Where these females at? And he wants a woman who actually take care of herself in the gym, at least have an okay stomach. You don't have to have a super flat stomach, but okay stomach. Where they at? If you're going to sit back and say, not all women are the same, but then go around and say, well, female nature, then you destroying your own points with your own points. So here's a list that I concocted. I ain't naming it nothing. So stay away from women who listen to ratchet music. Okay? I'm going to show you. Any female who listens to Mag the Stallion and says Summer Girl and Summer Boy, stay away from them. And guess what? These are women who so-called nerds. These are women who are business women. But you want guys to pick from that? You want dudes to pick from women who listen to this chick, right? Also, any chick who listen to Rihanna, stay away from them too. What her music says to women. Cardi B, stay away from the women who listen to Cardi B. I don't care if it's casual, stay away from them. See, that's what happens when you have standards. You don't want any type of female who can be manipulated by the media at all. Influenced by the media. Any chick who listen to Beyonce. Remember, she brung video. She had many type of songs about I Need a Soldier, which is them talking about an anthem. It's really a rap song about hood dudes. Then she made a song about if you don't like it, put a ring on it, about getting married. Then she made multiple videos about cheating and everything. She made multiple videos and about other stuff. Any female who mimicked themselves after Kim Kardashian, her name, what she used to do. Remember, she's a married woman now. And she with the same dude. Anyone who follow her prototype, that means getting the fake everything and trying to live her path. Stay away from them. Anyone who listened to any type of female who went after a Kim Kardashian. Because a lot of them can't be the present Kim Kardashian. I'm talking about the past Kim Kardashian. The one who was dating all celebrities and ruining their lives. The ones who was going from man to man, saying all this shallow, superficial stuff. Not the woman now. the advocate, and the one who has kids and married to the same guy. Now, any chick who listen to Nicki Minaj, stay away from them. I don't have to say none of that. So that was an empowerment music. Any female who watch TV drama and movies, stay away from them. Remember, I said it before, stay away from people who can influence stuff, because, you know, after they see a movie, you can tell how influenced these women are, because after they see something in a movie, they start doing it in real life. But they'll make fun of somebody who walk around and do something from an anime and start doing it in real life. They'll call them a lame and loser and everything. But these women will literally take something from a movie, like they did with that, what was that called? What was that called? Let me get that movie. Bird Box. That movie Bird Box, where she was with a blindfold and everybody started doing that. Or there'll be a quote on in a movie and they start doing it. Remember the Black Panther thing, Wakanda Forever, and all the people was doing that, the X thing. And I finally got around to watching Black Panther, because I didn't watch it when it came out because it was too much hype, and I don't want to be a follower. I watched it a year after it came out because it was part of the MCU. Even I watched Captain Marvel too as well. I just picked certain spots that I want to look at it and let that lead me through the whole movie. People started walking around doing a Wakanda thing, wearing African dashikis, and then after that movie buzz died down, they didn't want to support any of a black actor or nothing. That's what I'm talking about. Anyone who looks at movies and want to do it in real life, remember Scandal? When all the women was watching Scandal and everything. Well, remember they watching what was that movie called? What is that movie called? I forgot that movie. That movie where that fantasy or whatever that sold a whole bunch of books. That movie, everybody started doing that movie. They all start doing quotes movies and shows and stuff like that. They start acting ratchet and everything else. They see what they see on reality and start doing it in real life. Stay away from them. They start acting like characters that you see, and they start quoting words from stuff, and they actually take it seriously. Stay away from them. If they overvalue themselves, of the women that I previously showed you, stay away from them. Now, it gets slim pickings right now that I'm showing you a list of things of certain men don't want certain women. It's getting slim pickings now. This is my list of people to stay away from. And guess what? It ain't going to be no female left if I actually put this list out. See? Women who overvalue themselves, who think they're better than you. They don't have any kind of self-reflecting on themselves to know what kind of position they're in. They think they can always get a man. They think they can always rise the price up on who they really are and where they really at in life. Like the female that I showed you. They have no empathy towards the opposite gender. It means that they say certain things out their mouth that they should watch if they in a man's space. So stay away from women who has no empathy for men and be like, well, yeah, I know women are bad, but you need to go back out there. And they don't have no recollection of how hard it is to be a man. I wanted to show you the chick that I had a conversation with on Tommy Sotomayor channel. And she still liked my page, like we still cool. I've been stopped stopped caring about you. I thought you blocked me. I wanted you to block me. I wanted to say something to make her block me. And I did. But she never blocked me because she thought, oh, I'm acting like I'm nice. So they have no empathy towards the gender who has problems with the people. They say stuff out their mouth like, oh, you have to make up for what you have to do. But they never call women out. They never try to be fair towards the opposite ones. But they always want you to be fair towards women. If they're saying stuff like that, oh, I don't want you to hurt no feelings, but they'll say, oh, he's dusty. Oh, you guys live in your mom's basement. Oh, you this and that, and you this and that, you this and that. And I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about these guys. I'm not talking, no. When you talk about a certain type of group of men and you don't make a distinction and you don't clarify it, then you don't have no compassion and empathy for the men. Oh, you shouldn't be talking about those women. You shouldn't be talking about that. You need to take accountability for your actions. They never pay attention to the whole scope of things that was going on. They only pay attention to what's going on in their life and what they can look at. But instead, there's a whole internet out here and many examples of what things are going on out here, but they ignore it. And then they try to go argue back and forth with guys who actually are out there, who actually look at the whole picture. They're not considerate for nobody but themselves. These are women who will come in your life and try to take it over. They're not considerate of the things that you have to do, that the rituals that you have in your life, that it's going on for you. They're not considerate enough. So how you supposed to be in a relationship with a person who's inconsiderate towards you? Who, when you're watching a show or something, they ask you questions. Hey, what's that? What is this going on? What are you doing? He look weird. He's this and he's that. But when they're watching something on TV, you don't ask them anything. And that's supposed to be okay. Or y'all not really dating, but they're asking you for money. They're asking us for you to come save them in a situation, and this and this and that. And you're supposed to run towards them. Oh my God, I'm going to help you out, even though we're only friends. You're supposed to get up when they want you to get up. They don't have no consideration for you and what you were doing at the time before you met them. And say, okay, he had a life before he met me. I'm going to ask him what he doing so I don't barge in on his life. It's all about them. My experience with foreign women, they got their own stuff. When they see you doing what you're doing by yourself, they let you go do what you do. They don't bother you when you're watching a show that you like. They don't bother you when you're online making videos. They don't bother you when you're playing video games. They don't bother you when you're watching something that you're enjoying. They ask you overall, do you want something to eat? And then they ask you, are you going to be finished with what you did? And if you got time after this, then you give me some attention. But with the women over here, they want your attention all the time. So-called even the nice ones don't have consideration with you. They're barging in on you. They asking you questions. They doing this. They want to know this. They want to do this. They want to do that. Want to do that. They have no consideration. I'm destroying all the points they're talking about. Where are the women who had consideration, not knowing how to catch themselves when they talking too much? Chick talking for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 3 hours, 6, 7 hours, talking about some stupid stuff you don't care about, and they don't get it that you're just listening to them because you're just running through the motions, and they don't get it. They don't stop. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, you must be bored, blah, blah, blah. They're not asking you questions. You hungry, you need something to eat, blah, blah, blah. Plenty of times when I was talking to a so-called foreign woman, if they all the same, why the foreign woman ask me, am I tired? Or do I want to continue to talk to her? Or all the other stuff that I talk to? Are you sleepy? Before she start talking again. Or ask me questions. And not take up all of the hours of the conversation. These are the dudes, these are the things that these guys not telling you. See, they listen to women's bullcrap all the time, and they want other guys to deal with that. Instead of, they want you to be a doormat for women. Oh, I'm going to listen to what you're saying. I'm going to let her talk and let her say anything she wants. The only thing is important is me saying that I got game and swag and I'm doing this and doing that and I can talk to women. And when I ask guys overall over here that to get the women over here, I say, how many hours do you spend talking to a female? They never tell me. How many this and this and that? They never tell me. But then you got some nerd to talking about guys overseas, going overseas. I love women with accents. Why don't you consider that a lot of guys want to make sure that if they listen to a woman talk, it's talking to a woman who has organic energy and not synthetic energy. Why are you not talking about that? That the energy in other cultures are different from the energy here, because the men in other cultures put their foot on the necks of the women in their culture. And then when this dude said, oh yeah, the men in the other cultures might not want you to go over there and talk to their women, they're going to get jealous. Guess what? Whoever goes to another country thinking they're better than the guys in that country, you deserve to get beat up, or even worse than that. You can't go to other people's culture and think that you can go stomp all over it. You got to have permission by actually connecting with people in that culture and connecting with the men first, because the men has the keys to the men have the keys to the door where you want to go at. This is why you make friends in other cultures, and then you talk to them where to go at. They will look out for you. If you go to a so-called third world country, they'll tell you the do's and don'ts, and they protect you. Just like if somebody came to Philly and said, I'm coming to Philly, I want you to show me around. They're going to have a sort of protection because people know me in the area, and they'll just see you as my friend because they never saw me with a whole bunch of people before. So I can tell you where to go and where not to go. That's how you have access to the women there. You can't just come to a country and sit back and go yell at and try to be around people and think you a celebrity because you was hyped up. See, what they're not telling you is that the dudes who got game and swag and all this other stuff, they go over there and they get their ass handed to them because they think that they can go to another country where the men have more power than the women over there, and the men not having it. Like, okay, you did that over there. This ain't your territory. This is our territory. You ain't better than us. I don't care how tall you are and what American woman said that you was packing or not. You're not going to come over here thinking you can touch our women. But if they see you with a guy who in the culture, they'll say, okay, yeah, he that's an American friend. He cool. And they'll just see you as that. You might have some disturbance, but the fact is you still have a connection to them that you need to enter. You need an entry. You need an entry to their culture. This is why a lot of people pay people to tell them where to go and where to go at and all that stuff. They got a person who is a guide to tell them the do's and don'ts in another country. The last thing on the list, because I went on a rant, is don't be around women who hang around the bad ones. It means that if it's a nerdy girl and she hang around a whole bunch of ratchet friends, get rid of her. If she has a whole ratchet family members and she not isolating herself, or at least dealing with them on a small bit, get rid of her. Because 9 times out of 10, she like those women, and she's only being around those type of people because she has that behavior inside her, and she just dips her toes into that behavior for a little bit in order to get it out, and then try to walk back into the nerd world and say, oh, I'm different. And I'm going to show you one of the women that I'm talking about. So we talking about the gamer girls, right? Now, it was a YouTuber who took his own life. You should know who he is. He was a gamer, right? This is his ex-girlfriend. Now, mind you, he died in June. It's August now. Mind you, she has a picture of him and she says she's a mental health advocate now after he died. But she treated him like junk before when he was alive. Because she didn't even know where he was at. But that's something that they had to deal with or whatever, right? So I'm gonna show you this that show you that they not any different from any of the other chicks. They copy the culture and people get fooled by them being nerds and not being selected by the certain type of guys, and they think they hit the lottery with these women, but these women just act just like the other women because they hang around them, or they absorb the culture, they inhale the culture, and they project that culture out, even though they so-called nerd and nerdy girls, right? She has nothing but pictures of her showing her body, but this is a nerd chick, right? Nothing but pictures of her showing her body. Mind you, she has a picture of him right there. But then, next to him, she didn't even take it down. No respect for him at all. She has a picture of her behind. Then a second picture of her behind right next to that. But she had so much love for this dude, she didn't even consider to take his pictures down before she reposted these pictures, these thirst trap pictures. But the chick want to tell me about gamer girls in this country. Sure. Now, you got these guys out here who try to make the case that all women are like that, but then try to exclusify certain women out here and say, whoa, I can be with a big woman who's nice. I've been with a few big women that were nice. You need to date on your level. You need to do this and do that. But don't that entails that if somebody said you on their level, that means that we both don't like this. We both dislike the same stuff, and we shouldn't be around something that we don't hold. Because if you're sitting back overcompensating for a whole bunch of things just to get with this person, and this person doesn't compensate for anything else she doesn't have, then guess what? It's an unfair advantage. So that person is not on your level. You're lowering yourself below the person that you're with. But they want to sit back and say these things like, well, if you go overseas, and if you go overseas, their women are just like that too. Every woman is the same. But then turn around and say, well, guys are not trying to fix themselves up and get the women that they want. And you're not going to the gym, and you're not doing this and self-improving yourself, and you're not getting money and stuff like that and getting the women you want. But you just said that all women are the same everywhere in another video. 2 more videos you said, well, the women are all the same. But then you say, magically, if a guy get himself together, he can meet the so-called in the wall. So you basically just lied in one of the videos, and then you backtracked and then showed that you were lying in that video, in the previous video, just so you could sell a book or some comic books, or just talk or have a talking point with people that you can sell dreams to. Because you want to sell the dreams to men, and you don't want men to figure their dreams out themselves, right? You got guys out here who look like this and they believe all this junk. Oh yeah, man, if I get money and if I go to the gym, then I meet that one who could fool me in America, and then I can go around talking about guys who travel. And then when something happened like this, oh, I met her on Twitter, fell in love and had a kid, proposed to her. She took the ring, pawned it for a Mercedes, blocked me, and won't let me see my kid. They don't tell you the stories about all the stuff that over here. The same quotes, like I said before, women who hang around certain women who speak this kind of stuff, you stay away from. The universal uniform for I got my life together, I don't need a man, and my son is my king. See? They don't tell you about this. The situation like this. This is not from overseas. This is over here. Husband canceled wedding after they sent him a video of the bride bachelor party. This is over here. This is in America. And everybody tell you, and there's a couple videos up here who tell you about what happens in bachelor parties. There's women in other cultures who don't even get bachelor parties. That's sort of a, they do have bachelor parties, but they do it with all women. They don't go to strip clubs, male strip clubs, and say, "Oh, let's party." Because if they do that in other cultures, there's some cultures who the men do allow them to go to bachelor party and get the last bit of whatever they want out. And guess what? The men get to do the same. But I bet you, overall, the women who cheat on their men with these strippers and stuff are not going to let the man do the same thing. But you're supposed to stay over here and deal with the women like this. And look, she has glasses. She looks so nice and kind. She's one of the new Waltz. She met a guy who has money. Oh, you're supposed to go to the gym and get your life together. And then they'll come to you. And you're supposed to vet them. And vet them and vet them and vet them and vet them. Guess what? He put so many years into this chick and then finally married her and then found out that she was just like the other women. She was chopping at the bits. She was chopping at the bits to cheat on this man, but she never had the opportunity. And so her friends that was the other type of friends influenced her and cost her a ring. That's why I said, don't get rid of a female who got ratchet friends and ratchet family members, because they can influence them too. But they're not going to tell you that, right? Women who do this, who say this, mind you, she's an adult entertainer, but women who say this all the time. I need new, what's it called? She calls men hoes. Accepting applications now. The requirement is a big dude, big pipe, right? She says that right there. That's their requirement. They're telling you on social media what kind of men they like and what kind of men they don't like. So why would a dude stay in America and told in their face that they got to do all this crap just to be just to get their application looked at by one of these women who, after they finish having fun, instead of going to another country playing chess. See, all these dudes who tell you overall that they good at game, they got the game and got the swag, and I told you they don't never tell me how long they had to talk to a chick before they get it. And I asked a lot of guys this, and it's the main question that you ask a lot of guys who say they know a lot about women. I said, you ask them this: would you wake up every day and play chess with the same person and see if you can beat that person in chess every single day? If they say no, then they don't have no so-called game. If they say yes, then they have game. Because the game is so-called is being better than the other person that you're going against. But in traveling terms, a lot of guys already seen you're the people who tell guys that they don't know what they're talking about, and if they can't get women here, they can't get women over there. That's like saying that if you can't survive the hoods in America, you won't survive the hoods. You won't survive the hoods in other countries. It's like that. It's them saying that America is hard. America is better than the other countries. The reality is that America is a dreamland. Overall, it's a dreamland. It's so many people here who are just it's so messed up in the head that they don't live reality. This is why we have so much reality show. People in other countries, women in other countries, they deal with reality every day. They know if they say the wrong things, they do the wrong things, they treat certain men the wrong way, that's their behind. They're done. No one's going to save them. There's no white knight coming to save them. This is why I made that analogy of saying, guess what? If somebody says that the women, if you can't get women over here, you can't get women over there. False. Because in this country, they set it up and the women in this country, with some men, they put the difficulties up on hard, on very hard. Imagine you playing a video game and you got the settings, and it's for certain guys they got easy, right? You playing a game and it gives you a selection of easy mode, normal, hard, super hard, hardcore. What these women do to some men is they put the difficulties to easy for some men, and then they crank it up for other men. They put it on hardcore for some men. And these and mind you, these are not the good looking ones. These are the ones who should decrease the difficulties to them. Not easy. No, put it on normal. But they never have it on normal. The settings is never normal in America. But in other countries, the settings is on normal. Why? Because they know they can't do certain things. They can't do certain things. They can't get with it. They can't get away with some certain things in their country. Even with an American guy. So that's a lie of saying, whoa, if you can't get women over here, you can't get women over there, because the women over there, they'll play you. It's on the easy settings. And the easy settings for women and foreign women, if somebody like myself who got experience with them, they'll give you the easy settings as a game to you. You're playing checkers. You're playing chess with these women now. They make it easy for you because they know how hard it is for you over there. So they're going to make it easy for you in the beginning of the relationship. Oh, they're going to give you everything. They're going to treat you, put your feet up. That's them winding you in. But if you're smart, you're going to soak it in as long as you can. Look at your watch. Look at your calendar and say, I was with this chick for 3 months. She thinks she got me on the hook. But I'm going to bounce. And you bounce. That's it. You won. You got the advantage. You got what you never got over here. You got the advantage of a chick who thought she had the advantage over you in her own so-called culture, right? So you always win. So that's the illusion. That's like I said, that's like saying, oh yeah, man, the hoods in America is 10 times harder than the hoods in these other countries. No. As I said, the analogy of the difficult, it's easy mode in America. Over there is hardcore. You'll see things that you'll see things and hear things that you're going to want to come back to the hoods in America. That's why I said the hoods in America is nothing compared to the hoods in other countries. This is the reason why a lot of people leave their country, because it's too hardcore. They don't want to live that life all the time. And the women who live in these hardcore places, they don't want to live there all the time. This is why when they do get with a so-called American man and the American man stays over in that country, they move into a better part of the country where the violence isn't so prevalent. And they get to say, this man gave me this right here. I'm not going back to that culture. I'm not going back to that favela. I'm going back to the, I'm not going back to that. I got an American man right now, better than all these other men right here. No, I'm staying with this American man. He stays over here with me. I got an American man right now. I know many dudes who went to Brazil and never came back. An adult entertainer is over there right now who used to shoot movies over there, and he never came back. He even said that he was sick of the women over here. And this is an adult entertainer who been with over 3,000-4,000 women in America, and he didn't want to come back here. So you telling this illusion of, oh yeah, man, if you can't get women here, and you selling a dream to people and all this other. No, it don't work like that, man. This is what is left for you in America. Single mom, the weed wearer, the BBW. Notice my behind, but not my mind. Unplanned pregnancy. About to put in that weave. Old women trying to be young. It's hitting all the points here. The old girl trying to be young is a chick who try to make me, an old broad who try to make me fly her out. Right there. The obese chick. And the tattoo stripper. You see a lot of posts like this. Don't go after a woman with a big behind. You won't make it. This always them talking about your anatomy. They always talking about your size, but they never talk about themselves. Always deflecting off of that. This always is right here. Don't worry, girl. I can change him. All things are possible through Jesus Christ. See? This is how they think. See, the illusions in America confuse a lot of men. Because a lot of women will give you two sides of them. They give you the side that they want you to look at where they're not dolled up. Because you're not worth them being dolled up. So you got a woman right here who look better than she looked with her clothes right there, right? She got a before and after picture of her going out and her staying at home. Now, a chick in another country will still look good, even in the house, even with conservative clothes on. I know plenty of women in other cultures who look 10 times better than what she looks like without the makeup and everything else. But they think putting on a dress and some makeup is them being dialed down. This is the perception they use for certain type of guys. They show certain type of guys, certain type of images that they want to get out of a guy. But you're supposed to stay here. This is what I mean by they have no consideration of you. And this is what, when people tell you to go out, this is the women of what American is right here. This is the cartoon. She's on her phone the whole time she with this dude. But then when he goes up and finally dedicates some time to himself, she comes in and said, are you playing your game, your stupid games again? You're kind of addictive. You're kind of addicted. That's what they do. This is the talking points that the males and the females do. They all talk the same. Oh, you need to go out more. You need to go in the field and do all that. You need to do all this. You need to go to the gym and go cold and pros women and do all this and other stuff. They don't want to do things. They don't want to do things that are brand new. They want to do things old so they can have the advantage. But you're supposed to stay here, right? This dating world, the dating market right now, is filled with this. Filled with this. This right here. Same chick, Julia K, talking down to people. See, when you travel out, you don't see a lot of women. You don't see a lot of women up there talking to their men any type of way, because they know they know what the men will do if they go around talking to certain men certain ways. Like this chick says, this man literally gets paid to sleep with the hottest women in the world. Same women you pay for pictures. Same women you walk off to. You worry about the wrong room, though. And this ain't my picture. I mean, this ain't a reply to me at all, because you see the pictures right there. I mean, the replies right there. So she put it in his face that he can't get the hottest women that this adult entertainer gets. But if you do travel out, actually you can get the same women that you see in those movies. See, they don't want you to go out. They don't want you to prove them wrong. They want you to stay here and pick you apart for money. They want you to work. Obsidian already showed himself to who he is when he brung Taz back on. And also when he said that he rather single men pull out their pockets because they don't have women to entertain them and want to pay them. And I asked him, I told him, I said, wait. So you want men to not have hobbies and want them to just be independent from women because they see that women play too many games and they just leave it alone. But he always try to make a talking point about, oh yeah, man, I'd rather sit out. But you so-called have a woman, a so-called lady friend. And his rhetoric started to sound simpish. Because then, overall, when he was on the so-called the B1 network and all them other people, he was sounding so awkward. Because they was in the middle of a so-called argument with the chick that the second and third chick that they fell out with. And he was just saying stupid stuff. Using a microphone, saying all every kind of stupid stuff under his breath, and oh yeah, I have to ask a question. You know, it's a stallion and this and that. I'm like, dude, just let them go it out. Just listen. And he never gives anybody a leeway. He always cutting people off. He never gives somebody a leeway to talk. And even when the conversation not about him, he try to make it intellectual when he's not actually himself intellectual like that. If you book smart, but the fact is, if you were so-called book smart, then you would know the stuff that you really are talking about. And then you call people broke, stingy, and cheap. And people were talking about his studio and his pictures of how his studios look cheap. So we supposed to stay here with all this crap going on instead of just going to another country and winging it, or going to another country and seeing if we can do better over there than over here. So we supposed to be sold books, lied to, told that we should be milked for our money because we don't have girlfriends and we should go out and do this. We supposed to be talked down to, laughed at, and supposed to be under everybody else instead of just saying F all this. I'm not part of none of y'all, and I'm going to go where I want to go at and be happy, and I'm going to mess up over there instead of messing up over here. Women's spending habits, they don't talk about that. There's a test that you can test right here with women, foreign women, and American women. It's called the $1,000 test that I made up for women in America and women in other countries. You give a woman $1,000 and see what she does with it. If she brings you half of that money or brings you change or whatever, she's a woman that you can keep because she's thinking about you and her at the same time. That means she's wife material. But if you give a woman $1,000 and don't tell her anything about it and she takes the whole $1,000, don't touch her, leave her alone, get rid of her. If she doesn't think about you, about buying any food, about giving you the money back or doing anything with that money for both of y'all benefits, even if it's your money, and say, oh, you can grab that right there. I grabbed something for a little bit, but I'm going to cook you some food or whatever. Don't touch her. That's also the stuff that they don't tell you about in other countries. I mean, the guys that try to defer you from dating overseas. There's many tests that a lot of guys like myself learned when I date women overseas. I messed up a few times, but at the same time, I learned a whole bunch that made me 10 times better over here. That made me not even want to touch nobody over here no more. I'd rather stay with watching adult entertainment and then saving up money and then traveling out. Because it's better, because none of these chicks have even come past through any of my tests. And I'm doing all this stuff just to impress them, and they can't even pass none of my tests. The dating scene in America overall is a landfill. You're never going to find any nice things here. And you're going to have to go through tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of trash before you even get something that you can actually use and be happy with. You got the dating sites who show you all these women and what they really are and who they really like and how they think. You got social media examples that you can take screenshots and show them, and as many videos are showing you the true nature of these women in America next to the women in other countries. In other countries, oh man, I'm not even gonna say it because I don't want this video. Look at this, man. You just have this right here in this America. So this is a foreign chick who Asian woman. I'd rather go through a small bit of craziness with her because I know that she's not going to put me through the ringer or make me wait to get what's under that beautiful dress. She's going to allow me and let me do what I need to do in order to show me that she's the woman, even if she's playing a game and trying to make me marry her. Because I can play the game as well. But at least I will be able to get with someone like this instead of getting with someone big and unattractive. That's the whole point you're trying to make. You sitting there trying to act like the women in this country who's nice and all this other crap, they come in a big package, and the unattractive package, and the guy's supposed to say, oh, I'm going to be with that for the rest of my life. And then have her cheat on you, and then you're supposed to say, oh, I'm going to pick another one. Instead of picking someone like this. Who know how to keep their looks with minimum, with spending, without spending all that money. Are you serious? We already know what the women are like over here. They stand in line for the same men. At least in other countries, some of the men already cut themselves away from the women in their country. A lot of women, see, this is the thing that I always say about the men in America. It's a lot of people in America, they got way too much loyalty to the women here. Even if the women are not giving them anything, and they're trying to sell books and sell dreams to men, but then tell men that they shouldn't go over countries and believe in the traveling pipe dream. But you want to sell them another pipe dream so you can make money off them. But you're not going to tell them the real truth. And then the other guys who try to tell people advice, tell them, oh yeah, man, women are all the same everywhere. No, they not. Because if men out here, if you was in other countries saying the things you got, you would have 50 something men. You would have 50 or 60 men at your doorstep of you talking about, yeah, man, these incels are this and that. I get more women than everybody else. There'll be 50 men at your door waiting for you, and they will mob you. And if you know what that is, mob justice, they'll make up something, or they'll just grab you out your house and they just beat you up, and they'll get rid of you. That's all they do. In other countries, the players in that country are humble because they're not. There's a consequences for being an arrogant player and sleeping with people's wives and sleep with people's girlfriends. The men in that country don't let none of that. They don't let that run wild. They don't let their women and they don't let the men run wild like they do in America. So you don't have this in the country. And if they do have this in the country, they have it in a system where they say, okay, you are a concubine. The women who are concubine do not go out here and try to take dinner dates with guys they know they don't like. because they know that this woman right here is connected to this dude. And the dude make it obvious to everybody else that this is my concubine. This is my chick. She's my chick right here. Don't touch her. And guess what? The woman has no place to go except the dude. Until she relieved of her duties. It's different in America and in other cultures. Okay? In other cultures, unlike America, dating scene is like a trash can, right? If you drop something in the trash can, 9 times out of 10 you can get that out and you wash it off. If it's something, it depends on if it's something that you can wash off with. If you drop something in the trash can, all you need is gloves and a few minutes or a little over an hour, and you'll find what you dropped in the trash can. That's just like that when dating. You will literally go through, and you go in somebody else's country, and it's women who want you for your money or a green card. You're not gonna go through a lot of them. You're not gonna go through a lot of them coming after you, because the next woman will tell the other women that you don't have this to have that. But then there's another woman who will literally say, I'm gonna try this American man, because what I have to lose. The men here treat me this way, treat me that way. So you'll have a better time over there finding something better in the so-called trash environment, trash dating scene where they have it, instead of you doing over here, because over here it's not a trash can, it's a landfill. You're not gonna find a chick over here to date and married that you really want, or even close to what you want. In other countries, the dating scene is like a yard sale. They're showing you the women that are there to want to date American men. Because you ever notice that a lot of men who date in other countries and stay there, people know that the chick is married to that man and married to an American. And guess what? The American dude, nothing happens to them. He become the culture because he speaks the language. The country knows that there's women in their culture, in their countries, that they want to get rid of, or they want to pair up. And if they don't fit in their culture, they rather have somebody adapt to the culture in their culture, and they add on to a new person who speaks the language and adapt in the culture. And that's what I mean by the yard sale. There ain't no yard sales in this in America. They're not trying to sell you. It's a landfill. It's a landfill of them paying you to go date and picking in the trash in the landfill. They're like, give me $500 and see what you can find that's good. At least in a yard sale, you get prices where you get reasonable prices for something that is used. In a trash can, same thing. You're not going to pay for it as much, but the fact is you're going to find something that you're going to find in there that you can use. Women in that whole culture, that's in the trash, that you might sit back and say, oh, these women are bad. Oh my God, they sound just like that. They kind of sound like Americans, blah, blah, blah. You will find an easier time in there. And pretty much, you would literally have to go through 5 women or 6 women before you find the woman that you really want in another culture, in another country. And sometimes you will go through 2 women to get to the 3rd woman that you want. In America, you're going through 100, you're going through 60, you're going through 20, you're going through 30, you're going through 40 women, all these dates, just to find one woman that you really don't like and you really never wanted. And sometimes it takes 3-4 years, because a lot of guys who sit back and say, the men who can't get women over here, none of them are even married. None of them have a girlfriend. And some of them don't even have no kids. So how I'm supposed to take the advice of somebody who don't even have at least one marriage proposal in their back pocket, or at least have a girlfriend? If you know so much about women, then you're going to be playing the chess game with the woman, because you know so much and you always going to win. If you know about women so much, right? The women over here, they show you who they really like. When things arise and rise up and things erupt out here, an incident happen, they'll show up when they see a guy who's hot and they're attracted to. And always, I say always, and I'm giving you a tip, always look at the comments of what these women are saying to the guys that they like the most, because then you will figure out who they are and look at their pictures, and then that'll give you a definition on how they are out here. And when people tell you that, oh, not everybody is online, ask them this: do everybody got a smartphone? How many people you know got a flip phone out here? If not everybody is online, then why? How do people watch videos? If they got a program or a subscription to something, they online. So pretty much you just gonna debunk what they say. Oh, not everybody's online, not everybody's on social media. Okay, if they're not on social media and they so-called in real life, then why they got a smartphone? And why they always on these smartphones all the time? How they communicate with each other? Through text? Because I see a whole bunch of people who say, oh, I'm not on social media, but they're on FaceTime. You're not gonna, in other countries, you're not gonna actually you might find a chick like her easier than finding than over here, who take care of her body, who looks like this, who's in shape. And it went over the line, man, but this is to all the guys who out here who want to travel. Don't let none of these people discourage you on traveling and trying to get out of the country. Don't listen to these dudes who trying to tell you what to do, because all they want is your money, all they want is your attention, and all they want is your servitude. They don't care about what you're doing. They don't care about the things you have to do, because most of them don't practice what they preach. Most of them don't live by their own words. And most of them they don't hold their words. The things they say, they don't even be consistent with their own words or what they say in other videos. Don't listen to these dudes. Experience what you want to experience. And deal with the consequences. That's what being a man is all about, is experiencing what you want to experience. Don't let nobody deter you just because there's a few bad things is happening out here, and they want to discourage you. That because the fact is, if you use 3 or 4 bad examples towards them, then they'll say, well, it doesn't mean that it's all of them. If they go around and they double talk back and forth, and then they going to turn around and tell you that you can't travel the world and see who you want to see, and they try to say that it's not going to work out and everybody the same, but then they turn around and say, well, other people are different and this and this and that. You can't generalize. You can't do that. You think an incel. You think a dude on that. Hey man, it's up to you, rather who you want to follow. But I'm trying to tell you straight away, if you start seeing dudes who talking points don't reflect on what they used to talk about, unsubscribe, don't give them no more money, and leave them. And go to somebody who actually is trying to help you out and tell you the truth. Go around people who do know what they're talking about. People who fair, who tells you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Don't never listen to people who never going to show you the three sides of what you're going to deal with in life. In life, everything can be good, everything can be bad, and everything can be ugly. But don't never let somebody just show you the bad and ugly side and then say and think that their talking points is going to think that they're going to keep their talking points and nobody's going to call them out on it.